Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rabbi from Another Planet's channel. You're probably wondering why I'm here. Well, I'm here to moderate something that I'm actually shitting myself, to be quite honest with you, but we'll give it a go anyway. So, going to introduce all of our guests. So, firstly, we've got the man himself, the man that actually runs the channel, Rabbi from Another Planet.
You know, a wise man once said, either you run your channel or your channel runs you. And let me tell you, your channel fucking runs you, mate. Okay? Your channel runs you.
That's it. How are you anyway?
I am spiffy. I am good. For me, I am about to, I've only just come back online. I've just been offline for about 25 hours for Sabbath. So I'm feverishly looking to see what has happened in the world. Has Jodie Whittaker signed up for another 15 years? Or has she been fired? I don't know. That's the quantum reality I live in right now.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Later on, I do have some Doctor Who news, so you will be interested in that. So check that out. Would you like me to introduce the rest of the guests,
Yes,
Rabbi?
I would. You go ahead, sir.
Or would you like the rest of them are going to be doing? Would you like to plug anything?
Me, no. I am just happy to. I am happy to plug myself as a platform, and I would like comic skaters and comics people in general. Come here, show your stuff off. Any artists watching this, and they are inspired to do a sketch or work up something more detailed, we will feature your artwork, and we will do whatever we can to monetize it. That's what I like to do on this channel. Monetize comic skate and comics. People who love comics. I love to do that. I hope to do that for myself at some point this year. I'm not sure when, but yes, that is my thing I like to do.
No problem. Right, let's bring on our second guest, and we've got a former Doctor Who artist, Doctor Who adventure artist, in Russ Leach. Welcome to the channel. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Sorry for the stupid introduction. Rabbi just comes up with these mad ideas. It's his bloody channel, but you host now. Okay. So
you're so good at it.
Very much. I try my best. So if you just like to introduce yourself to everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel, and let us know what you're working on, and if you'd like to plug anything as well. Yeah, I'm not good at this, Rabbi. I don't know.
I think you're doing great. Listen, other than saying I'm not good at it, I think you got it nailed, mate.
Yeah, pretty slick.
Okay. Well, Russ, knock yourself out, and welcome to the channel, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to meet you. My name's Russ Leach. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. You can find me at russleach.com, at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about my latest book, Only Death Can Save Us, at onlydeathcansavus.com. There is a link there for you to go to the campaign on Indiegogo, which has just reached its target, but it's been extended. So get in there, get the extra stretch goals. You can find me at Twitter, on the Fleece Book. You can find me at Instagram, and you can find me at Parlay when it works.
Yeah, Parlay.
Don't forget, you have a secret layer, a secret level for your Indiegogo.
There is a secret layer. I think I've got maybe 3 Doctor Who swag bags left. Lots of posters. There's some stuff signed by Andrew Cartmel. And I'll package the whole lot off and send it to you if you go and back that on Indiegogo. And what we'll do is we'll drop the link in the description for you.
It's already there. It's already there.
Rabbi will be leaving all the links and all the appropriate websites on the link description of this video. Yeah?
Correct? Yeah, they're already there. You're Indiegogo.
They're already there, guys. So go ahead, sign up and support these guys.
I got to put Lucifer Storm down. I got to put Lady Satan and Russ Leach in there. But everything else is there.
But as he said, we do have a storm, but not any normal storm. We've got the storm all the way from hell. It's Lucifer Storm. Welcome to the channel.
Good evening, everyone. How the devil art thou?
So you're the most evil man on this panel today, yeah?
Sorry?
I said you're the most evil man on this panel today.
I'm going to try to be the most evil man on this panel today.
Let me ask you. Has your devilish evilness led you to ever take a shit on a turtle?
No.
Then you're not my league, Sonny. Not my league. Let me tell you.
I've clearly got some fucking catching up to do.
There you go. You got to live life, baby. Life for living. That's what I tell you.
Yeah, life was for living, but not for that poor Tardis.
No, well, he never laughed again. That is true.
That's it. Well, Lucifer Storm, obviously, welcome to the channel. And again, I'll ask you the same thing to introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you, and if you have any projects that you'd like to plug away, my friend.
Awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Lucifer Storm. I'm an award-winning independent graphic novelist from the UK. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for Lucifer Storm. Or you can go to luciferstorm.com and sign up to my newsletter there. Or you can check out the website for my upcoming book, Lady Satan. The website address for that is lady-satan.com. I've actually got some artwork from Lady Satan that I can share with you guys if you want.
Yeah, throw it up.
Awesome. You're going to have to give me 2 seconds.
Well, if you also want to contact Lucifer Storm, you could just simply rip out a virgin's throat and it'll just pop up for you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. There it
Say his name 3 times in front of a YouTube channel.
There you go. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That's the cover for the first issue of Lady Satan, An Angel in a Killer's Dress. I am going to have an announcement to do with this book on Halloween. How appropriate that it should happen on Halloween. There's a little bit more of the titular Lady Satan herself.
Mawashigeri snatch style.
Oh, I love that.
And that's one of my favorite spreads in the first issue. And here's a little page that I like. I'm not going to give you any more than that, but like I said, check out lady-satan.com because, like I said, I'm going to have an announcement to do with the book on Halloween.
There you go. All Halloween, sir. Very good.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And nice to have you on board Rabbi's Mad channel. As you can see already, we're on. I'm only 43 minutes in, and we've probably been demonetized already. So.
Oh, yeah. Listen. If you saw this as a live stream instead of recording, you should go back to the live stream because that's the one where I taught you how to get out the Israeli army using only a Mars bar and your ass. A Mars bar.
A Snickers bar would probably be the better bar.
No, Snickers wouldn't do it. No, you don't want a Snickers. No.
Right. So Mars bar it is.
Yeah, listen, tried and tested, mate. Okay, we've gone through a few different iterations. Aero, not even close.
The poor Russ can't hold it together, right? We better bring on the next guest before
the bubbles.
We lose them all to the giggles. Right, so our next guest, I don't really have an intro except I do like hazelnuts, but we've got Wullie Hazel here with us.
I too like hazelnuts. Yeah.
So I just thought that popped into my head. But welcome, nice to see you, and
Good to
again,
see you all, guys.
Good to see you.
Oh, sorry, I'm at the loser because of Rabbi. This is gone to hell. Okay, so welcome. Nice to have you on the channel again. I'll say to you the same thing as I said to the other lads. Introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, and if you've got anything that you would like to plug and let people know where you are on social media. Told the Rabbi I'm brutal at this, but go ahead anyway. William, I'll call you William because I like calling people by their first name. So William, go ahead.
Indeed. William Hazel, you know me as Wullie on YouTube and on CG UK, if you've ever seen that every Wednesday night. You can catch me tonight in a couple of hours with Statistical Zero as we go through all the Freddy Krueger films and talk about them. We do that every second week, every second Thursday. And we alternate with doing a comic show called Comic Book Gold, where we talk to creators about their favourite comics and what they mean to them. And the best way to get in touch with me is to find me on Twitter or just do a search for my comic book character, Ailsa Dark, Werewolves and Bampot.
Oh, the link's right there in the.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Freaking awesome. Do you want me to throw that
Cheers.
in the go? Where's the link? If you send me the link, I'll throw it up right now.
Actually, guys, while Rabbi is doing that, I'm going off a little off script here, but I'd like to ask a question because obviously I don't do comic books. It's not something that I got into. Obviously, growing up as a kid, didn't have much money and stuff, so I never got into comics. Can you tell me and other people in the chat that don't necessarily buy comics but are looking into buying comics, why supporting you guys, independent comic book creators, is the way to go, basically? Because we see what's happening with the comic book industry. It's obviously a bit of a shitstorm. So, yeah, I mean, you know, why is it important to basically support you guys and stuff? I think would be the question, and to kind of like, you know, support you guys and kind of steer away from the mainstream. I'm not saying these are telling people to steer away from the mainstream. They're basically telling there's other options out there. But,
we're doing what creators used to do in the mainstream. We're creating comics that mean something to us and hopefully resonate with a fan base out there, the customers. So in other words, we're not just creating some kind of product to try and get across some kind of like a kind of like wishy-washy sort of like agenda, or to try and get some rather crappy Netflix deal. We're just creating the kind of comics that you used to be able to pick up and read, that kids used to read and the adults read as well. You know, Stan Lee developed a whole system of making comics that appealed to different age groups, and that's kind of what you're finding in the indie sector right now, and in comics, people creating comics that deal with so many genres that the mainstream doesn't even want to touch or deal with anymore, or has. Let's be honest. The mainstream is treated comic book genres kind of like tortoises, I would say, and they've kind of like you know, they've essentially crapped over everything that they had that was good. So what we're doing,
there's a new video out by your boy Zach. I got to watch it. Saying basically they now they've realised they screwed it. For some reason, I got to watch that video.
I think mainstream storytelling in general, TV and cinema, as well as comic strips, it's all crap. And what we're doing is making new stuff from the heart. We're making comics because we love the medium, because we want to tell stories and create solid entertainment instead of trying to tell people what to think. I think that's the difference.
And we love the characters that we're creating. We love them as if they're our own children. So we are putting everything into this. The last thought in our minds is, how do we get more money out of the reader? No, our first thought is, how do we entertain the reader? How do we make them fall in love with the characters and stories that we've created?
That actually sounds great, because to be honest with you, you do get the feeling from mainstream comics that it's just all for the money for them, and you have seen, and we've all seen, the agendas that seem to be going into comics. And at the end of the day, as I've always said, entertainment stuff like that, comic books, the TV shows that we love, the movie franchises that we love, we watch them because we want to escape from real life. We don't want that kind of stuff going into where comics, movies is, you know what I mean? And it's it's saturated.
I just want to enjoy Iron Man flying around.
Listen, I haven't bought a comic, but I will definitely, after this stream, have a look at all your work, and you know, when I get into a better financial place, I will definitely support, man, because, you know, I do truly believe that comic books right now, you see the industry, it does need help, and it's not getting help. But people like yourselves, you're right. The one thing I have noticed is when I hear you people talk all the time, and I've heard them on Gary's channel as well, is that you can feel the love. You know, these are genuine. You know, you're putting on paper, you know, it is something that you love, and you do every time you put something out. It's you always try to improve it, but you never go away from those core beliefs that you all seem to have, which is doing it because you grew up with them. You just want to make the kind of comic books that, you know, you grew up with, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. The newer comic books now are an absolute disgrace. To be honest, I do.
The artwork is generally awful. I mean, I'm looking at this one right here. It's by Wullie, right? It's from his new book. I just love the line work you got here. It's like I just love his character.
And I love
Superb.
stories about werewolves anyway. I mean, one of my favourite movies is An American Werewolf in London. I think that's probably one of the best movies
Great
ever
movie.
made, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that'd be so. Look, I'd look into stuff like this. It's just with me, it's like I don't know where to start because as a kid, it wasn't something, as I said, that my parents, because money was a bit tight back then when I was born. So 80s in Ireland was very bad. So Christmas was big deal because the parents would go all out for Christmas for us, But I never really got any comics. That was the one thing, and I do have that regret because, I went in. My brother's been reading The Walking Dead. They've done is a graphic novel or graphic comic. So I don't know.
There's one called Engine, which has like about
So I was
50
going in every time there was a new issue, and I was going in, and I was actually. As you do when you're in a comic book store, you do kind of like browse around. And to be honest, everything that I was looking at just didn't appeal to me. So I just kind of got me brother's stuff and I just walked out. Visually as well, that's a big thing. You said it as well, Rabbi. The art in the mainstream, it's kind of like
they go.
If you hit you visually, I think you've already lost the audience. If you have something,
but like, look, if you want great art, you want great passion. That's why you come to indie. That's why you come to comics day.
Yeah. Plus the mainstream, they're just trying to make everything so safe and saturized.
Well,
and
they're run by an insane cabal of terrible people who have an insane, rigid law system that if you step out of line, you must be sacrificed. They can't say anything, and they have to think what might happen in the future. Right? What happens in the future if all of a sudden the color yellow becomes offensive? Then I don't know what to do.
And anybody looking to start in comics, just go browse Indiegogo Comics. And you'll find loads and loads of great projects.
Because what we're doing,
comics, and you'll find you.
I love about you guys though is that you aren't just here promoting your own work. These are actually telling people to go check out other people's work as well, which is absolutely
all of us. If any of us are successful, it benefits all of us because success breeds success.
Absolutely.
And obviously from the other side has been taking pops at each other and trying to cancel each other. But you guys are genuinely you are not just.
Listen, a good functioning DC Comics benefits me, right? People who like comics benefits me. Right, it creates a vacuum in the market that like Vertigo's gone, which is that's kind of the space I want to try and get to, right? But exactly. So that's so that's a plus for me. But like other than that, if it was a world where people love comics, it's better for me because I can sell more comics. That's really bottom line. I'm happy for anybody to sell their comics from me.
By the way, Chris Persia is in the chat just to let you all know, and he is putting. I can see there he's putting the links to all the campaigns as well from all our guests in the chat as well. So go and check them out. I just wanted to put that in there to make sure people didn't forget. So there you go. Any more questions, Rabbi, you want to ask, or do you want me to move on?
I think we should dive into the first round.
Round one, I'm just reading, so I have to get you the chat to suggest a genre. So I want you to suggest a genre and an age range. Okay?
Target age range.
An age range, yeah. I'm reading out what you sent me. Don't worry. Right? So he says, you then choose and feed it to us, and then we have to pitch you a comic. You have the chat score us. Right. So you have to pitch, so you have to give me, suggest a genre and an age range, and then I then choose and feed it to us. Okay. So I just pick anybody's option, feed it to you guys, and then away we go and watch this madness unfold. Okay. Right, so let's see.
Chat. So you suggest a genre in the chat. It could be sci-fi, it could be horror, it could be superhero, it could be thriller, it could be spy. Suggest a genre. What genre comic do you want to try and pitch you something?
Yeah, and then an age range as well. So what age will it be applicable for? So will it be an adult kinda, or a child
okay,
kinda?
time travel for 18-year-olds. Okay, so got to have a bit of sense.
Okay, so Matt Jones. Okay, yes. So time. We'll go with that one first because I think suggestions are going to be a bit slow at the start. So
Right.
That one. So we'll start with you first, Rabbi. And remember, guys, you in the chat are going to be scoring who got the best. Actually, I have a pen and piece of paper there so I can write the scores down so nobody cheats. Right. So time travel, and then I can't say me word. See, I don't know where you got me as host.
Sadako.
Yeah, here, horror says age 12 to 15 horror. So
Well,
there you go, you have two. So what do you want to start with first? Time travel, 18, or horror?
You tell me. You're the boss.
Right. Okay. We'll go with because you haven't had time to think about this one. Horror, age 12 to 15.
Okay. 12 to 15. So there's no sex in it. Fine, but there is. It's kind of like a sexuality.
Unless you're in France.
Was that?
Unless you're in France.
Unless you're in France, exactly.
Or it's a Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Netflix. Yeah, we should actually send Netflix a memo.
Then the target range would be like 40-year-old men. It's 12 to 15. Okay, so you've got to be kind of like okay. Go for something traditional, like a creature from the Black Lagoon, but then have the gross factor be a little bit too much, right? There is like, oh, and then he ate the eye. It's got to be like kind of gross. Like they got to be a little bit grosser. There's got to be kind of like near, 18 certificate violence. As close as you can get to that. Then add into it a layer of kind of like Celtic magic, kind of like a Wicker Man kind of thing. I think I could run that for 4 issues. Okay, so that's then. So yeah, okay, fine. So you have fine. So here it is. You have some remote Celtic island Outer Hebrides that's hard to get to, a cut-off community. There's some secrets going on in the past that people have just learned to kind of live with, and there's a ancient Celtic monster that's said to return. And then people start dying. The monster is real, but the monster is real. But it was formed by but it was spawned into being by some unspeakable act that was done, like human act, like real world act, which is kind of like the point of the story. It was like some child molestation or something along those lines. But I don't think you could do that in a film. So then it'll be like some murder. Okay, it'll be like a husband had murdered his wife and buried it, or husband had murdered a kid and he's buried it in concrete.
Hang on, you do know that this is. Hang on, you do know that this is for 12 to 15-year-olds.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it a little bit too much, right? A little bit. No, okay, it's too much. Okay, I'm winding it back. I'm winding it back. Fine. So it's got to be like some kind of betrayal. That's it. It's a friend betraying another friend. That's what it is. Okay.
It's the Jimmy Savile Penguin series.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you're going to score high for that, Rob. I have to be honest with you myself. Like, I don't think you're going to get very high scores for that. We'll go. Yeah, so that's your pitch, yeah? That's your pitch.
Yeah, basically, Creature from the Black
Lagoon. How many issues did you say it's going to for? 4? 4 issues?
Yeah, 4 issues.
Right. Have you got a name for your main character? People wanted to know in the chat.
Okay. Main character would be a girl. Let's make her.
You might as well make a non-binary like Jodie Whittaker.
No. She's definitely a girl. She's definitely hot. Okay. You get girls reading and you get boys reading, right? She's hot. Got
We know you don't have to describe. We already know the 15-year-old what reading this comic.
Sorry?
I said we know you don't have to describe the one.
She has short shorts, cut off shirt. She's kind of like what's the name from the first Transformers? Just more comic book guys, like with bigger boobs.
What, Megan Fox?
Yeah, Megan Fox with bigger boobs. So she's hot, and she's the main
character's name? You can't call her Megan Fox with bigger boobs.
Well, I guess we could. Well, yeah, it's a bit obvious, isn't it?
We can dream.
Let's call her Jennifer Wright. Okay.
Okay.
No, Jennifer Salt. Jennifer Salt.
That's Rabbi's pitch. If you like Rabbi's pitch, get your scores ready. Don't give me the scores just yet. You can give all the scores all together so I can write them down. So we'll go with who I have next on my screen, and that is Russ. So Russ, obviously the topic is what was it again? Oh, it was horror. 12 to 15-year-olds. Yeah, Rabbi's doesn't actually sound like a horror at all. Just have to be honest. But there you go.
I'm going for a 48-page one shot. It's going into the kids and the YA section, and it's about two kids that are they're brother and sister, and one night they're looking outside and they see it's a meteor shower. They see something crash. They go to the meteor shower and find go to the crash site. They find a big crater, and inside the crater there seems to be something growing. It's like a mushroom or something, and it pops, and they fall back. They're not quite sure. The next day they wake up and they've sniffed it in, and the boy has got a massive bubble of snot coming out. And this bubble of snot gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it falls to the floor and becomes a snot monster. And the snot monster goes on an absolute goes on a ravage. It goes on a ravage. It takes apart, and they have to go and convince the local mayor, Sadiq Khan, that he has to get hold of Jojo the clown to get the armed forces together. And what they have to do is they have to fly over the top of the massive snot monster, which is getting bigger and bigger all the time, and drop a massive hanky on it. Wow. And they drop the massive hanky, and it reduces down into absolutely nothing, back into a tiny little mushroom, which isn't snot anymore. And the book is called The Monster That's Snot.
Well, see, boy, that didn't scare no kids. Well, it did scare the kids because it's the big snot. Kids are afraid of snots.
I think it's younger than 12 to 15, but I don't know. My kids are like.
It depends how many people it ravages and like takes the flesh off their bones while they're doing it. You know, you can make it as horrific as you like.
The blob, it's like the blob. Except it's the snot.
Yes, what do you want? Fucking Shakespeare. Was it?
I had a monster eating lots of kids. What do you want out of me?
Right, well, listen. Right, you pitched your pitch, right? And because the second person is a better pitcher, you're already ranting and raving. You lost already. Relax. Right, William, go ahead, mate. I can't wait to hear what you have to say after. That was a great pitch, Russ.
I could follow that one.
You know I love you. So, yeah, good pitch as well, Rabbi. But go ahead, William.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of doing like a first 6 episode season on like Hulu or Netflix or something like that. So the pilot is going to be called The Changeling, and it's about two wee brothers. I say wee brothers. One's about 13, and the other brother is 16, 17. He's the older brother, and they are in a car. The older brother's driving, shouldn't be driving. They're joyriding. They're those kind of kids, and they're going down a country road and they hit an animal, and they get out and they go over to see what it was they hit. But it wasn't an animal, it was a goblin. And the goblin bites the young child, the youngest one, and the older child batters the goblin to death with a rock. Now, this is going to appeal to 12 and 15-year-olds because they're going to love that. They love that, smashing the goblin. And problem is, the young kid is bitten by the goblin. He's going to undergo some changes as the show goes on for the first season. And it's going to be a metaphor for puberty and having to deal with adult life coming at you before you're expecting it. So it's kind of like a young Bill Bixby, and he's going to be kind of like not a full-fledged Lou Ferrigno, but he's going to get himself in situations where he's going to turn violent, and he's got to try and control that violence. Unfortunately, sometimes he can't control it and people die. So it's actually a very dark horror story called The Changeling. And it's, that's kind of my pitch. Oh, his name's Russ Storm.
Ooh.
Oh,
I like that.
oh, yeah, you like that
I've no
one?
idea where the name came from, but it just came to me.
I'm a beaten man. I'm a beaten man.
That's
Gotta love a goblin.
And I don't know why. I have to be honest. I do love stories with goblins. I used to love watching movies with goblins and orcs and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention, he does see the goblin even after the goblin's dead. The goblin haunts the younger boy, not the boy, not the brother who killed him, but the boy who's actually got the changing coming on, who's becoming more violent. He's actually haunted by the goblin, who kind of like taunts him.
That actually sounds fantastic as well. I have to be honest. This is great idea, Rabbi. I'm actually loving this now. Right. Well, I'm not saying I didn't love it in the first place, but I thought it'd be awkward because I know absolutely nothing about comics, but I'm enjoying this. So let's ask Lucifer Storm what his pitch is, and then everybody in the chat, after Lucifer Storm gives his pitch, I want you to start giving the scores for everybody, Rabbi's, Russ, and obviously William. And then when Lucifer Storm finishes up, I want you to give us our scores for the first round. Let's do it, Lucifer Storm. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm thinking a 3-issue mini-series, about 24 pages per issue. We're going to start off by being introduced to this young teenage lad. He's like a lot of teenagers. He's not having the best time at school. He's gone into the final school where they start going, you better think about what you're going to do for a job. And he has his own issues to deal with. He's recently been diagnosed as being Asperger's, so he has trouble with the change. Not only that, recently his parents were involved in a car crash. His father blames himself for the crash and has started drinking heavily, whilst the mother, who was able to walk before the crash, now she can't. And she's feeling depressed because she has to try and deal with change. This little boy, he doesn't have many friends. The other kids, they pick on him because they think he's weird and they don't like the clothes he's wearing because he's not wearing the trendy, fashionable labels and all that jazz. He feels really alone. He doesn't have anyone to talk to because the only people he can talk to in his support group, they're going through their own shit. They've got to focus on themselves. So he creates an imaginary friend. What better way? What better way to bring something bright into your life? I now have a friend and I get to make up who he is. So he likes the things that I like and he feels the things that I feel. And after being bullied at school, he imagines scenarios where him and his imaginary friend can go and get their revenge on those bullies until he wakes up one day and finds out someone has killed those bullies. And the evidence points to him, but he knows he didn't do it. And there's only one other person that could have. And that's his imaginary friend.
Dun, dun, dun.
There you go. That's my pitch. That's the best you're gonna get out of me.
Actually,
sounds good.
Everybody is pitched very well for the very first round. But let's see what everybody in the chat has to say. So, guys, if you would like to give me your ratings, please, for Rabbi first, because Rabbi is obviously pitched first. So what would you give Rabbi's pitch? And Rabbi, just give everybody, while everybody's giving the scores, actually, why don't you we've got some scores in now. So Rabbi gets a 3.1.
Okay. I like the scoring system.
Yeah.
I like to adopt the scoring system.
4.7.
Somebody's holding up a card. Nil point.
Oh, Hazel gets a 7.1. The Goblin. Ooh.
Giggity.
And Lucifer, though, gets 7.8.
Just pulled that one out of his back pocket. Look at that.
Eastland Burkholder, you are now officially awesome. If anyone tells you otherwise, I will quite happily have a conversation with them and say, no, you're wrong.
Right, guys. So far, how many people do I have to take votes off? Is it the vote then?
Decided it. I think she decided. That's good enough.
Eastland is good.
Round one goes to Lucifer. So congratulations.
No, I like this one. I did better with problem being. Well done,
All
Problem.
right, okay, well, we'll put Problem Being score. So Problem Being gives Rabbi a 5. And he gives Russ a 6. Congratulations, Russ. William a 7. Congratulations. Another 7 for William. Well done.
Listen, I guess.
An 8 for Lucifer. So
Hey.
Lucifer is maintaining his lead. So Matt Jones now has a Rabbi for 6. I'll tell you what, to make it fair, the first 3 people in the chat that give scores, we'll take them, but we'll take as the people that have already given scores, yous are excluded for the next round, but the round after that yous are back in. We'll get 3 other people then to make. Yeah, because I think that's fair that way.
I'm gonna have to shoot off.
Oh, can you stay for what? Do you ever go right now, or do you stay for one more round?
If we make it a quick round, I can maybe stay. Yeah, go.
Listen. So, we just okay?
Yeah, we'll do it now. So we want you to suggest a character, whether it be Superman, Spider-Man, whatever, MCU, DC, whatever comic book character.
By the way, one second. Check this out. You don't never underestimate the power of boobs. Okay, 2 bloody points. 2 bloody points because I gave a nice boobs. Okay, which really did anybody think I was thinking anything other? Really, you all know who I am.
Come on in. Who? Come on, chat.
Thank you, Nerdaholic.
I know. Listen. I will go for the dirtiest option I can go for while staying in the realm of clean. Right, that's where I am in life. The dirtiest option I can go for while I'm still in the realm of clean.
Right, guys. Anybody in the chat want to suggest, or will we just, Rabbi? I think we should just do the time travel.
No. Again, it's going to do a different time. Can anybody in the chat suggest a character they would like to hear a pitch for? Superman, Batman, Iron Man, whoever, Jessica Jones, you name it. Anybody can suggest a character, any character you would like to hear a pitch for. And by the way, people in the private chat, you're also welcome to pitch. Just to get somebody to in your own time. There we go.
Wow.
Okay, Sandman, Spawn, and Blade. So you choose which one.
Okay, I will go with Problem Being suggestion in. Well, I seen movie that Sandman was in, so that's why I chose that character. I don't know anything about Spawn. I do know Blade, but all right, we'll go with Blade then. Go on, because that's easier. Blade.
Cool.
There you go. So we'll start with you, Rabbi. Go. You're first.
No,
so
we first again.
All right.
No, let Ross go first.
Right, Ross, you go first.
I'll go first.
Sorry,
I'll go first. Get me out of the way, and then you can let me go to a better place. I thought it was funny from Lonnie. Sorry, I was using the neighbour's garden. That's good. Right, okay. Blade. Yeah, Blade. Blade decides he's having a midlife crisis, and he wants to go and get a different job. So he decides that, probably bearing in mind the activity that he's been involved with for the last 30 years, that he needs something a little bit quieter. So he's going to become a pizza delivery man. And it's called the book. It's going to be a book. I think it should be a one shot. I do like one shots, and it's about the tribulations and the troubles he gets into, like delivering pizza on a nightly basis. And it's called the dog liked it, and it's called the cutting edge, the pizza cutting edge. There you go. And he's all about the toppings. I can't do any better than that.
Absolutely. Sorry about the dog. Big firework outside.
That's okay.
He loved your pitch, Russ. He loved it. He loved it.
Yum, 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 pizza.
Blade with a midlife crisis and go around and he'd be really killing people just for the fun of it. So
yeah, well, you see what he did. That's the twist, is that he'd get there and he'd deliver the pizza and he'd be late and they'd say, well, I'd want $1 off, and he'd just like shoot their fucking heads off. Like, I'm not having that. If I want to deliver pizza late, I'll deliver it late like that, and then he'd just go.
Right, Russ. Obviously, Russ, you need to head off now. Do you?
I got another show to go to.
Don't worry, mate. We understand.
Give yourself a final plug. Let everybody know where they can find you again. The links are all in the description and stuff.
Okay. Cheers, thank you. It's been an absolute blast. Well, it's very good fun. I wish I could have stayed for the last round. I would have lost, so it doesn't matter. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. You can find me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find me at onlydeathcansavus.com. You can find the links to my Indiegogo there. That's my new book, and you can find me on the Twitter, on the Fleecebook, on the Instagram, and on the Parlay.
Thanks very much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I've had so much fun.
It's been really good fun. Good to see you, Wullie, Lucifer.
See you, Russ. Take care.
See you again, Debbie. See you all soon. Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go.
And just before, well, he's gone, but just to let you know, Eastland has given him a 5.2 for that pitch, so I'll put that score down. Right, so we will start with, I'll tell you who we'll go with next. We'll go with William next. So, William, go ahead. Pitch us your blade.
Well, it starts with like a kind of like a pre-credit sequence, right? A kind of comic begins with Blade and Dracula, and they're over this kind of like time portal, this sort of multi-dimensional time portal, because Blade's been hanging about with the Avengers, so he's got himself in this kind of situation. How we got there doesn't matter. Hanging about with the Avengers, that does it. So him and Dracula end up falling through this portal. Next thing you know, Blade wakes up and he's surrounded by samurai warriors, and he's now in 12th century Japan. The story then picks up with Dracula, who's also there, but he landed there a century before, and he's been able to set himself up, and he's got a nice wee gig going on because he's the Emperor. So the story is Blade and his journey, kind of like a journey from where he's landed physically on the map to where Dracula is as the Emperor, as he makes his way adventure by adventure until he gets to where the Emperor is, and he eventually has to face Dracula in 12th century Japan as a samurai warrior. And that's my idea. And it would probably be about 149 issues.
Wow, that's a bit of a run you got going there. That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. A bit big hat.
Yeah, I like it. And we've got Lucifer Storm next. Now, your last pitch was brilliant.
Thank you.
So I hope you can. Let's see if you can top it at least, because you're in the lead right now.
I'm gonna try. So
knock yourself out.
Blade's doing his thing, hunting down vampires, taking them out. But like everyone else, he needs that little moment to recharge his batteries. He thinks, you know what, I'm fucking tired. I've had it up to here with these vampires. He goes out to a bar. He has a couple of drinks. He meets a nice lady. She seems to like him. Then, boom, everything goes black. He wakes up. He's feeling weird. He doesn't know what happened that night. He ain't feeling good. He's in some place strange, this rundown, dirty motel. He doesn't know how he's got there, but he ain't feeling good. He runs to the sink in the bathroom and starts vomiting blood. And he's thinking to himself, what the hell's going on? We can have some narration from like Future Blade saying, people say you are what you wait, but you know, what's eating me right now? He goes down this little journey trying to remember what's going on. And then he gets to a point where he realizes that this woman that he hooked up with, she happens to be a vampire. She's also a scientist, and she has managed to make AIDS that affects vampires. But because it affects vampires and it works a lot faster, he's only got a few hours to either find a cure or to kill as many vampires as he possibly can. That's my pitch.
Wow. I actually like that one. All of these pitches have been actually great. So, Rabbi.
Okay. This is a 12-issue run.
12-issue run.
So there might be a year of Blade. It could go longer, whatever. But the run is this. Firstly, Blade is getting older. Blade is actually starting to feel the pangs of age, which is strange for a vampire. But he's not as quick as he used to be. He hurts more. He becomes injured more easily. But it's still, he keeps carrying on, which I think makes him a little bit more, heroic. So we got that going on. And then he meets and ends up teaming up with a younger vampire who also is into his vampire hunting mission, and they basically become partners. Blade is essentially training his replacement, and he knows he's training his replacement. We have an ongoing intrigue with the vampire mafia families, going on. Like blood supply, whatever, that sort of thing. We'll have a little bit of commentary about current day as the vampires think the humans are just gone stupider than they ever been before. So I'll be talking about, because they got this like perspective history. Said, I thought they were stupid in the 1960s, but I've never seen them more stupid than they are now. I said we would have that going on. So Blade has a partner, like a young partner that he's training. As with any alpha males, as Simon's fighting this, they just cannot coexist, and they don't become, neither one becomes a villain, but they do become adversaries, sort of, until some big bad razors that have been growing during the arc, razors, they have to team up and work together to work past their animosity to defeat this evil, and through which they gain a begrudging respect for each other, and then they decide to go their separate ways at the end of the year's arc. So there we are. That would be my year run on Blade.
Fantastic. That actually sounds very good as well. An older Blade. Are you going to explain in your pitch why Blade is older, like why it's
some's rays or some carcinogenic factor is making him not so great.
Right, fantastic. I've asked 3 people in the chat, so the disaster area has given his rating. So for Russ, after the 5.2 that he's already gotten, we've got a 6.5 for Russ as well there. We've got a, let me see, 7 for William. Hold on. We've got a 7.5 for Lucifer. And Rabbi, you also got a 7.
There you go.
Pretty good scores there. So Lonnie Webb gives Rabbi a 5 this time. William gets a 6, if I'm correct. Yeah, 6. And as Russ already has 3 scores, I don't know if I need if I'm gonna add, because it won't be fair. His score will. So who have we got? Lucifer gets another 7.5. Wow. Well done. Good pitches by everybody, actually, I have to say. And who have I got? Who said not? Oh, I'll read that one out as well. Hold on. So I did. And Rabbi, you got a 7. 7 there. 7 there. Am I correct? Yeah. So no, hold on. I'm reading. See, the chat is skipping. This is Jesus. Right, there's Lonnie's score. No, Rabbi got 5. See, hold on.
That was better.
No, Chris Persia is the last one to score, so he gives a William an 8.5, and he gives Lucifer 8. Right, and then he gives Rabbi a 7.5 and Russ a 7.5. So round 1 was obviously won by Lucifer. Round 2, so we've got a 7 for Rabbi. Let me see. Oh, you're making me count now and everything. Shit. Right, hold on. 7, 14, 14, 5 is 19, isn't it? No, that's a 7. But no, is that 7.5? I'm not even reading these right, am I? Hold on, now that's a 7.5.
No, you can guess,
Right,
mate.
and that's 7.5. I have it. So that's 14, and then that's 5. So Rabbi, you got 19.5 for that.
19.5.
Right. Russ got so hold on. So that's a 7.5. What he's doing, which is at 0.5s, could just not just went like 1 to 10. No, you have to
No, I like Charlotte's method the best.
Right. So hold on. So we got it 5.777. Oh Jesus, this is fucking. So 14. Russ got 14.8. Jesus. William, yours is easier because you got viewers, so 7, 6, and 14, and then so 20. Russ is 21.5. So it's down to Lucifer. So has Lucifer? Well, Lucifer has actually won this round as well because he got an 8, 7.5.
There you go.
5. So Lucifer has won as well. So 14, 21, 22. So you got the 24 to Lucifer. So Lucifer, you won round 1 and 2 with your pitches. I have to say you're all fantastic. I did like the Goblin one as well. I have to be honest. William, I'm a bit gutted for you there because I thought the Goblin one was very good. And Rabbi, as usual, I knew you were messing. But like, the 15-year-olds shouldn't feature. But we won't go there anyway. But well done, you all. I have actually had a blast here. This has been funny.
That's been good.
Do you know what? As it is your channel, and we're obviously finishing up, haven't we? Are we finishing up this segment? Or
No. There's one more round. The final round.
So round 3 obviously consists of, but you didn't give me round 3.
I did round 3. The chat, you have to go ask the chat to what they want to hear. An original series in another universe, in the Marvel universe, the DC universe, the Sandman universe, in another universe.
What Rabbi said, because I don't have it here in front of me.
Fine. Chat, suggest an existing fictional universe you would like to see a series set in. V, what in the I in the comic book V. I can't do it.
Don't forget to send Charlotte the link, will you? To the
Barbarella universe. Well, I have to email it to her. 1 second, I'll do it right now. 1 second. Does she use email? Oh no, she uses Facebook, right? Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, you can send it to our messenger.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Charlotte. Here you go. Doink. Okay, link sent, Charlotte. Let me know if you got it. Fine. So what we get? We got two suggestions so far.
Right, who we got?
We have
got V or Barbarella Universe. Let me see. That's not me typing. So I'm actually writing on a piece of paper and pen. So if there's anybody clicking, that's not me. Sorry. I always get the blame for that, even though it does be mostly me. But this time I'm actually writing. We go with V because I love the.
You kidding me?
No, I'm sorry. You can't. No, for a minute. This is the whole point. You want me to pick the other one because it's got big boobs. I'm sorry. I'm picking V. I want Lizard.
Oh, that's a shame because someone suggested Captain Scarlet. That would have been interesting.
I just have to coming up on me StreamYard. Okay, we'll go with Cap because I do like Captain Scarlet as well. So and we will start with Lucifer the last time. So we'll start with William this time.
Captain Scarlet. I don't know. Captain Scarlet's gay bar is what the first thing that comes to mind. Because if you think about it, it's like it's 20 years on. Captain Scarlet's no longer working for how it was. Was it Spectrum that were in Captain Scarlet?
Yeah, Spectrum.
Yep, and he got dishonourably discharged. And nobody knows the exact details of it, but he's opened his own bar. So Captain Scarlet's Gay Bar is what it's called, and it's you can see how they take the whole Spectrum thing, the rainbow flag, and that. You know, he could have tied it all together and used his celebrity to taking a big it up and kind of get a clientele. He became kind of like the string fellow of the Captain Scarlet universe, and so that was him. He thought it was all over and he was done. You know, that was his life from then on until one day somebody walked into the bar. And they reached over and they grabbed his face and they tore at it. And underneath the face, there was scales, because this is a crossover. This is Captain Scarlet's Gay Bar in the universe of V. It turns out for all these years, he didn't even realise it. He's a sleeper agent. He's been a sleeper agent for these reptiles for all these years. And that's where it begins. It's called Captain Scarlet's Gay Bar, but it's going to go much further than you'd probably go at Captain Scarlet's Gay Bar.
Bravo.
I love it.
That's fucking amazing.
I can't hold it in. Look at that. Oh, William, you have to win this round with that pick. Seriously. Okay, we'll go with Rabbi. Go ahead, because you've had a few seconds to think.
Okay. It's a few years on. Captain Scarlet has been recruited into the espionage, like MI5 or some international espionage thing. And what we get is essentially, say, 3-issue miniseries. It's a comic book 3-issue miniseries, which is essentially a big budget spy action thriller with a main character. That it's a big budget, high action spy thriller with a main character who can kill himself and let himself be killed as one of his weapons of destruction. Something that he can do. So he does commit suicide many times and let himself be killed many times through it in increasingly horrible ways, because he's indestructible. He comes back to life. Now you add into that the quasi sci-fi background that we have of the near future of the Jerry Anderson's world, which is a couple of centuries in the future in terms of technology. But you have that kind of thing going on as well. But again, imagine a Mission Impossible movie where Tom Cruise has the ability to kill himself as part of his repertoire, with the sci-fi crap going on as well in the background. Bum 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 dun 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 dun.
That's another great pick.
I have to be honest, boy. Well done. You know, I think the first one you were just warming up. I think you've blown into the competition. I'm only messing. Rabbi now he's going to throw his dummy out of the pram, folks. So make sure vote Rabbi #1.
You see, the first rule of government is install corrupt judges, right? That's what you need to do. Okay, this is just helping you out when you want to start your own despotic regime.
That's it. Right, you are actually in the lead. So if you give a good picture, you've won all 3 rounds. Yes, but I'll just let everybody, before you do your pitch, give you the score so far. So Rabbi is on 33.6. William is 35.6. And we've got Lucifer Storm on a cool 47.
Whoa!
So it comes down to this last pitch, Lucifer Storm. So knock yourself out. Let's see what you got for us this time.
You know what? Sometimes with a story, you just need to go for a really basic idea, even if it's been done several times and has been done to death. There's always your spin on it. So why not have Captain Scarlet? Once again, he's a character who's doing his thing until he finds some people who they're not looking too good. They look like they've got leprosy, but they are in fact zombies. And there's a zombie infestation, a zombie outbreak in the Captain Scarlet universe. But the first zombie happens to be Captain Black. And Captain Scarlet is trying to figure out, do I see if taking on Captain Black and taking him down, will that help everyone else? Is that the kind of zombie law that's going on? Or is Captain Scarlet going to think, I can't do this. It's the end of the world. I'm the only one who's not infected anymore. But I can't die. I need to try and find a way to die. He's trying to commit suicide in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. That's my pitch.
Fantastic, man.
Good.
Oh, well, that would imagine watching that on screen. That would be horrifying. Oh my god. Oh, you would definitely the kids would definitely have nightmares after that one.
Even if it was still the puppets, the marionette puppets.
That would be even better. Oh my god!
Exactly.
Yes.
It'd be like Team America.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see them.
I just took it for granted that we were all doing it as puppets.
Right,
Yeah,
this is it now,
kind of
folks.
movie
We
with
have a very important decision to make. Which of those three pitches do you think was the best one? And trivia's in the chat. So problem being is already on disaster area. Is this just now because the screen? So we have to start with who came up first. So Eastland book holder, which is our is our points again. Oh man, this takes ages to add up. All right.
Use
So
a calculator.
Eastland, I don't have a calculator. My calculator's my brain.
I'll do it. Relax. 1 second. Oh, I need
Right,
to.
so we're going with the first three. So Eastland, Lonnie Webb, and disaster area is where you take the votes from. Nobody else's vote now because they were the first three. We've done it for every other round, so it'll be unfair to change it, Rabbi. So Eastland's so William.
Then I'll probably send
Yeah,
that.
so we go with William first. So I'll do William's score from the three. So you're adding William's score first. So William got an 8.6 off Eastland. He got a 5 off Lonnie, and William got a 9 off disaster area. So what is William's total there?
22.6.
So 22.6. Right. Well, add 35.6, please, for William's final score.
It is 58.2. 58.
58.2. Right. So we'll go with Lucifer next. Lucifer gets a 7.7 off Eastland. Gets a 6 off Lonnie. And gets a 7 off disaster area. So again, Rabbi, I'll ask you the same.
20.7.
20.7. Okay. Add 47. Oh, that's even. I don't even need you to tell me that one. So
67.7. Scores on door.
7.7.
Oh, that's a pretty strong score.
It is. So Rabbi's score is 6.3, mostly for the theme song, says Eastland.
You're welcome.
Rabbi gets a 5 off Lonnie Webb, and you get an 8 off disaster area.
19.3.
Okay, and add 33.6 onto that for your final score.
It's 52.9. Still more than Russ.
Well, you only got more than Russ because Russ had to leave.
Listen, schools and schools, baby. I'm just telling you the statistics. That's all. That's not nothing to
So,
me.
in last place, because he's here, was Rabbi with 52.9.
There you go.
In second place, we've got the one and only William with a 58.2 with his goblin pitch. I love that, by the way. It's the one that
Those were killers.
And of course, Lucifer with his 67.7. But I have to be honest, these pitches were fantastic as well. Listen, I've enjoyed this. And I think, Rabbi, this was a good idea. You should kind of do a lot more of this because this will encourage people to check out.
No. The plan is, and I'm not sure if I shared this with you. I want you to do this with me every week, and we're going to get a different panel on.
Oh, okay.
Think about
Okay,
it.
well, the first week was a bit ropey. I'll be a bit more professional the second week, which means I won't be. But we'll give it a go anyway, yeah?
I did think it's a funny thing to have for all of us, you know. So I think we should do this.
Well, well done, Lucifer. Well, you should.
Thank you.
That was a great score. Well done, everybody in the chat as well that took the time to give your scores. So, Rabbi, what's next? Because I honestly,
I think you sign off, and then we're done. And we'll take a breather, 5-10 minutes, and we'll do the next show.
So I'm actually ending the stream. Okay.
You're a contestant on the next show. That is correct.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining Rabbi from Another Planet's channel. Before we do go, I'll give the lads a chance to plug once again. Remember, all the links are in the link description of the video already, Rabbi has said, and also it's being thrown up in the chat. So we will start with you first, William. Would you like to let everybody know where they can find you and what you've got going at the moment and all of that? And
yeah, I've got my campaign mailing list. Please sign up. It's for Ailsa Dark. This lovely lass here. It's called Werewolves and Bampots, and it's going to be a case of if you sign up, you're going to get a tier that only goes out to people who sign up for the campaign. So there's something you can only get for signing up to the campaign. So please think about doing that. Sign up for the campaign. You can find me on Twitter mostly. It's at Crawford_Hazel. Just to confuse people, I use my middle name on Twitter. Or just do a research for me, or research for Ailsa Dark, and you'll find me. And I'm on YouTube at William Crawford Hazel, and I've got a show every Thursday night with Statistical Zero, who was here earlier in the chat. And we do movies, and we do comic books every Thursday night. So that's it. Just Google me, and you'll probably find me. And please say hello. Thanks.
And please do. It's been an absolute honor to meet you. And
you too, my man.
And to be honest, listening to you guys, as I said earlier, there's clearly a passion there, which I think is missing in mainstream comic books. So it's as I said in the chat, go and support these guys. Very important, you know. And as they said, you will get something that, you know, has come from their heart. That's, you know, it's something that means a lot to them. So when you're supporting them, you're supporting their art, you know what I mean? And, you know, if you support it and becomes, you know, they will create more. That's the way it works, really, you know. I just want to say I had no interest in comic books growing up because of the situation, but after tonight, I'll be definitely checking some stuff out myself. It's absolutely wonderful. So thank you for coming on, William.
Thank you.
It's been an honor meeting you. Lucifer Storm, we'll go with you next. If you want to plug your social medias and let everybody know what you're working on at the moment and what campaigns to sign up to. So go ahead.
Awesome. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just look for Lucifer Storm. You can also go to my website, luciferstorm.com, sign up to my mailing list there. Or you can head over to the website for the book that I'm currently working on, lady-satan.com, because I'm working on a little book called Lady Satan, An Angel in a Killer's Dress. It's a 5-part serialized graphic novel, and it is not for children. I can tell you that much. It's a very dark story. The cover is up on the screen at the moment, and on Halloween I'm going to have a special announcement concerning this book.
Absolutely fantastic. That I have to say, as I said when you threw that cover up earlier, it's I love it. I love the artwork. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Rabbi, would you? I know it's your channel, but would you like to let us know? I'm not going to promote myself either because there's nowhere to find me. You know, if you're subscribed, you're subscribed. If you're not, please do, of course. And that's been it. I've actually had a blast. So I'd like to thank Rabbi for giving me the opportunity. And I'd like to thank all our guests again. Absolutely fantastic. And you guys in the chat for taking part as well. So as he said, this is going to be a weekly thing. So if you want to get involved, remember there'll be little topics, you know, 3 rounds, and you know we'll change it up. Obviously, each week Rabbi will change it up, and we'll obviously get it a little bit better. Sorry if I was a bit.
You're great.
You were awesome.
That was good. Good fun.
Thanks very much. Right, well, we're off. So
Good night, everybody.